Hello and welcome to this session. So, before we create the actual tables for Amazon database, because there will be a lot of tables and there will be a lot of fields as well. So, I didn't want to complicate things right now because we have to learn some more fundamentals here. But we also need to kind of have that touch with the project as well, right? Otherwise, it will become overwhelming. So, what I'm going to do here is in this session, we will create some of the tables, not the entire table list, but some of the tables which are very close to what we're going to develop in the Amazon project. So, once we consume the fundamentals, once we understand the fundamentals, we'll go ahead and create those actual tables. We may drop the existing tables, but these tables right now, whatever we are going to create in this session, we will use those tables to kind of understand some of the concepts. And once we understand those, then once we are ready, then we can start utilizing the actual tables. Okay. So I'm going to give you the entire list, the tables that we are going to create, the insert statements and everything. So you can use that, you can copy it and run it as it is. There will be few sessions which will be using these tables here. Okay, so don't worry about if you don't understand some of the concept here. They will anyway be covered at the later part. But this particular session should only be used to kind of create those tables and insert the data. Okay, now I don't want to just insert 5 records or 10 records, but I want to kind of get you to that feeling of inserting more than records, right? Not just using a simple select statement or insert statement. So what we will do is we're going to insert like thousands of records. Okay. Now, in order to do that, there are two ways, right? As of now, that as we know, right? One is you can write 1,000 insert statements, or you can say it one insert and then do an insert all, which is again tedious, right? So instead, what we will do is we'll go in a loop. So I'll teach you some of the concepts, and then we'll see like how we can utilize this concept and kind of do the insert statements. Okay. All right. So the first thing that I want you to understand is the dual. So dual is a table, is a one row table which is provided by the Oracle. So if you do a select star from table, dual, I need to connect here. Okay, so once you do a select start from dual, it will just give you one value X, and if you see the column, it's dummy. So why do we have dual? So basically, dual is used to do some evaluation. So if you want to evaluate a function, if you want to evaluate an expression, without creating a tables, then this is a very good table, right? I usually like when if I don't know, if I'm not 100% sure of the syntax, I use a dual statement to kind of see like how that works. Okay. So for example, here I said dual B from select B from dual. So basically I'm saying like giving the value B and it will output B, right? So I can also check like what is 10 into 2, right? 10 into 2 is 20. So I can do that from dual. So I don't need to kind of create a table, fill in the values and kind of do that stuff. The other most important thing is like we need to know what is the sysdate. Sysdate basically gives you the system date. So whatever the system date that you have, it will give you the sysdate. So similarly, current date will also give the current date, right? Then this is another important thing. Important in terms of the data that we are going to insert, but in real life it's not much. But anyways, so let me execute this. Okay, so what this basically means is like dbms random dot value. So it will randomly select one value. It will randomly give you one value. You just provide the range. I'm saying like between 0 to 1,000, just give me one random value. So it gives me like 781 point something, right? So if I execute this again, the random value will change. For now, it's 557. Again, it will change, right? So randomly, it will give me that value. Now, if you see here, right, 66 point, you get a very big number, right? So if you want to kind of truncate, like, just get the whole number, so you can use a trunc. So trunc, basically what it will do is it will truncate the value. So here in this case, if I am doing a dbms random value, I will get the decimals as well. So it will truncate the decimals, which is very useful, right? So if you look at this 269, I'm not getting the decimal value, so I'm keep on executing it and it will give me random values. Now, the one thing I want to talk about here is on the, so I'm using the random value in our insert statement. So the data it generates, right, it will be different to you, right? When what I mean by it, like I may have 100 rows, and those 100 rows may be different to what you have because we are using the random value. My random value would be different, your random value would be different. So just keep that in mind. Okay. Then you can also use, like, see, I'm using a state minus a dbms. So let me just copy this first, execute this, then it will become easier for you to understand. So let's say what I'm doing is I'm using sysdate minus random value. So I'm saying from the current date, from the system's date, you just randomly remove some days and give me the data. So it will just give me this data. So it will just give me a number. So again, this is useful for randomly selecting a number, but and you can also use a truncate to truncate this, right? The other important thing is this level and connect by. So imagine that if you want to generate 10 records, right? 1 to 10. So you will start with the root records. So this concept we'll again see in the hierarchical one. So there is a concept called a hierarchical query. So we will again go back and kind of learn this end to end. But from here, in this perspective, just understand that level is basically like you start with one row, which is basically root row, and then connect by is basically used as a sequential, right? So what I'm seeing here is like if I use level, connect by level, that means it will start with some value root 1 and it will go all the way up to 50. So here what I'm saying is just give me the first 15 records, first 15 numbers. So sequence like see 1 to 15, right? So this can be used when you want to generate the ID. So here I said 15, I can say 25 and it will generate me the 25 records, 25 sequence numbers, right? Okay. Similarly, you can use a level to generate, let's say I'm using a sysdate minus level, which is less than or equal to 10, right? Connect by, which means 1 to 10. So I'm saying 6 date minus 10. So last 10 days. So it will basically give me the last 10 days of days, right? So this is another one. All right. So these are some of the things that I want you to understand. Okay. And now next what I'm going to do is I'm going to create some tables. So probably 4 tables I'll create. So these 4 tables, I will use it in the next few sessions. So we will basically utilize these tables. Now the reason for me to kind of create these tables is these are tables which will be very similar to the tables that we will create in the Amazon project. So you will kind of get warmed up to this. And that is the reason why I'm kind of creating these tables. Okay. So the first table is order. So I put a very few records here just to make sure that we are not over complicating at this stage because we still need to learn few fundamentals. So order tables will have the order details like order ID. Every order will have an ID. So there is a user ID like who placed the order. Then there's a order date when the order was dated. Order state, what is the status of this order, and I'm creating a primary key, right, for this order. So let me just execute this one. Okay. Oh, I already have these tables here. I was just okay. Let me first drop these tables here. I already created these tables earlier, so I did not drop it. So probably I would have also created this. Wait a minute. An attempt was made to drop a table with unique or primary keys by foreign keys. Okay, so I would have created the tables and I would have not dropped the constraints and everything. So we'll need to also drop this as well. So you might not find this error because you might not have created these tables, but I had created these tables earlier. So I need to kind of drop this. So we need to also drop the constraint, right? So we'll say cascade constant. So it will drop the table as well as the constraints associated with this. Okay, so we need to do this. The table got dropped. I will have to create this table. So similarly, let me copy this because I think I also created all these tables. So I need to kind of drop this. So next is basically the payments. Similarly, we have payment ID, order ID, payment date, amount, status. So the default status is pending. So we have learned the default constraint, right? So we are using this. We have other constraints as well. The payment ID, amount, payment status, like it should be in pending, success, or paid. Okay. So let me execute this. This is also fine. Okay. Let me drop this table as well. So next is products. I need to drop the products table as well and create the product tables. I'm just using few columns here. So let me create the reviews table. Okay. All right. So, okay. So tables are created. So now we have to do is we have to. All right. So we are using the insert statement. So we are using the level. We are using the random values. So basically, these values will be different. This data will be different every time you execute it. So don't worry about this. So go ahead and execute this. We will learn any concepts like the level or the connect by concepts. We will learn. There is a separate session here. So this is only this particular session. Like you have case statements, everything. Don't worry about it. All this we will learn in the next few sessions. So this particular session is only for you to kind of create those tables and insert the data, right? So blindly go ahead and execute this insert statement. So we have 50,000 records inserted. We got 30,000 records here. So go ahead and commit this because we will utilize this data for few sessions. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and execute this. So let me select the data. So we have, I think we created 4 tables here, right? So let's go ahead and check the data from each of this table. So I have orders table. Oh, oh, I did a mistake here. Okay, I have gone and kind of executed this again. So I pressed this. Basically, it executed all these things again. So basically, uh, I might have a lot of duplicates here. So let me go back and truncate these tables before I. Okay, so this is not good. Uh, that is fine. I think, or else I think I might have a lot of duplicates here. If this is executed, let me just check. Okay, you know what? Doesn't matter, right? So these are not our actual tables. So let me just check if I have all the tables here. Uh, Payments, then the other table. Okay. So the other table is products, reviews. Okay. So I have this data here, probably more than what I should have. So okay, let me change my mind. I'll execute this. So yeah, just be careful while they are very close to each other, right? So if you execute this, you might end up having duplicates here, especially when I'm sharing you the entire script, right? So you can execute it all at once or one by one, and by mistake you might just execute all of them at once. So you might get duplicates as well. So that's that's fine. Nothing to worry. Let me just go back and check this. Because I have committed, I cannot use the rollbacks. Okay, that's fine. So let me go ahead and execute this one by one. So I'm gonna do products. So 2000 records are executed. So next, let me execute this. Some 50,000 rows. So payments, let me execute this. 3,000 rows. Okay. Right. Before committing, I'll just check. Okay, orders, I have the data. Payments, I have the data. Products, I have the data. Reviews, I have the data. So I'm going to go ahead and commit this. Okay, so now we have the tables that is required for the next few sessions. So go ahead, execute all the insert statements, prepare this data. Then I'll see you guys in my next class.